knife, PT.
On the sidewalk to the
We had Fight for the Knife. He made knives out of pool noodles, you know, and it was kind of nice. We're live, right? Interesting. All right. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a new council member, Council District 4, replacing Dan Watts, who moved out of the city. His name is Skylar Haas. Welcome.
Good to be here, everybody.
And if you don't mind, I would like to have a swearing-in ceremony for you to make it official.
Okay.
So if you would make your way by the flags there, and I will go ahead and and if I could have somebody maybe take a couple pictures for me.
Come on, baby.
You got it?
It's all about the social media.
I think you're on TV anyway.
Yeah, really.
Alright.
So I apologize. I've done this to people before. I read too many words and it was hard for them to repeat them. I'm trying to make it easy on you, okay? Raise your right hand. I, Skylar Haas,
I, Skylar Hawes,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as City Councilman District 4 of Woodburn, Indiana,
as City Council Member District 4 of Woodburn, Indiana,
according to law, to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to law, to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Councilman Haas, welcome to the City Council.
You'd like a picture?
Yeah. All right.
Very nice. Good job. It turned out good. Okay.
Now for the 26th budget discussion. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so, Ryan, did you have anything else for the council?
I
or-
do not.
No? Okay. Everything's running smoothly, water's flowing and everything else?
Water's flowing out and there's stuff going in, so we're
Yeah.
good.
Is there a lot of, water meters getting installed now, as far as the new homes?
Yeah, all the new homes have,
All the new
everything
homes?
goes in now.
All the structures
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
built? Okay, cool. All right. Anybody have any questions for Ryan about anything going on? Brad?
I really don't have anything, Mayor.
Waterworks was quick.
All right, yeah, this is going to be a very quick meeting.
Yeah.
So, I will actually, Herb, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you. New Allen Alliance. Got something for you. They emailed these out, the community surveys. Trying to get some feedback. I just went ahead and printed one out for everybody. If you want to get them back to me, you can do that, or I could forward the link and you can do it online, either way.
Okay.
Herb, would you mind explaining what New Allen Alliance is to our new member? Just so he has an idea.
It's a not-for-profit organization, started a long time ago. It advocates for the cities in eastern Allen County. City Council appointed me as a delegate for Woodburn. Each of the others have their own delegate, and we meet, right now it's every other month, to talk about what's going on. We have a lot of other people that come in from the outside that talk about grants and all kinds of things that are available, what's going on with Ivy Tech, I'll go through some of that here in a second, but information and stuff, that's what goes on there. Primarily looking to do some kind of an educational session, and that's what these surveys are about. Looking for feedback from the communities as to what is of interest to them. We, a number of years ago, got a grant for called Stellar, and we wound up hiring somebody to help us manage that did a lot of the sidewalks and renovations through towns and trails and all kinds of stuff like that. That's wrapped up. We debated and tried to put together the idea of having a paid professional to work with the cities and do that, but it wound up not coming to fruition. So now it's just volunteers doing what we can do with it. And at our June meeting, Greater Fort Wayne Inc. was there. They talked about foreign trade zones and their golf outing that they're gonna have at the end of this month. EDP Renewables were there talking about solar and the need for additional power in Allen County and Indiana, and talked about that. Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership was there. Nick Dara talked about the regional partnership. The state's looking to reconfigure a lot of the different groups that are out there. I don't know if the idea is to try to have them so they're all in the same areas, but all of them have different regions that they cover. And so the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership, they have 11 counties in Northeast Indiana, and so they are gonna continue advocating, hoping that they can keep that rather than get split up or do something different. Ivy Tech talked about they lost 15 positions due to state cuts, working to do more with less people. And Ivy Tech got a new president, not here locally, but for Ivy Tech statewide, Marco Polio, and that they were getting started with their summer semester. Each of the communities share about events going on. They want each of the communities to forward those, to put them on their website so that people can know what's going on in all the different communities. And we are moving forward to get a 501c3 designation now that we're not having the higher cash flow that we would have had if we'd had an executive director. We're not gonna have near this amount of money, so you can get a simplified one, I guess. And so Tim's gonna go ahead and put that through to get that done for us. And we changed where we're storing our money and putting it into something that's gonna give us a little bit more yield. Right now, we get like 24 cents a month. And, you know, it's gonna take it up to $2 or $3 a month, but it's gonna be better than nothing. And then their next meeting will be August 12th. They're always at 8 o'clock in the morning at the New Haven admin. And you're welcome to come, any of you that want to. If you wanna fill those out and get them to me, I can do that, or if you'd rather, I could email you. This page has a link on there, hyperlink with that. If you want to fill it out online.
Are those meetings still at 7:30, 8?
It's 8.
8?
Mm-hmm. Yep, every other month. The 12th of August will be our next one.
All right. This survey that you handed out, is it available online to do? Or is it, do we have to fill them out on paper?
You can, I can forward you the email, it has a link to it. I don't know if the link's on the New Allen website. I got an email from Lindsay, and she had the link to that. I just printed it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it's up to you if you want me to email it to you.
If you send it to me, if you guys would like, I'll just send it to everybody.
That'd be
and,
great.
You can do it online.
I need to think about this.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Well,
Appreciate it.
How's that going? What's the aftermath after the executive position not happening? What's the organization look like now?
we're spending a lot of time trying to figure out what it is we're gonna be able to do.
Mm.
Obviously, because it's all volunteers and stuff, there's not near the things that we can do. So that's this idea of doing maybe quarterly or something meetings, facilitating them, bringing people together to share information for the towns. Obviously, I could link to some of those people. I mean, you know, you dealt with Okra with up there. I mean, most of the organizations that are there are all community organizations. You wouldn't have to go through me, but certainly could if you wanted to.
Do you remember do you know who else voted in favor of doing that executive position? Did any of the other towns approve that? Or were we the only ones?
Dead after the little one killed it.
Huh?
Leo was after us.
Yeah, when Leo said no, it was dead.
Oh, really?
It didn't matter what anybody else did, cause
So we were the only yes, I think.
yeah, well, yeah, well, there was only 2 people asked at the time, I think.
Yeah, I think Grable was getting ready to vote, but they hadn't, and
Yeah, there was no point in
Harlan
voting,
hadn't
it was
Oh,
done.
voted.
okay.
so once they had one no, it was done.
All right, any questions for Herb?
Thanks, sir.
You, all right, thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. You have a
What's
question?
going on with the Egg Plus?
Egg Plus, so we're trying to set up a meeting with them. We're under contract negotiations. They want to give it to us, okay, but there's strings attached, and we're negotiating the details of that right now. So that's where we're at.
Last time I was here, you said it was in the attorney's hands and they were trying to work out details.
Yep, and we've been trying to set up a meeting with them for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting together.
Yeah.
For the last time. Hopefully next week. I mean, that's the goal now. It was gonna be this week,
Yeah,
and it worked.
So Egg Plus, as of right now, we're trying to get as much out of it as they can. I mean, they're emptying everything out, they're trying to sell buildings, and then they're giving you what's left.
Yeah, as far as I know, they want to sell the silos, I think. They wanna get rid of the silos. The only thing we're gonna get is the
The metal.
concrete structures, yeah. So,
And we
yeah.
get the pole barns too, we're supposed to get.
yeah,
They may get rid of one of those if someone wants them.
yeah. So hopefully we can work out an agreement with them, but, it's gonna have to
You
be
know about that?
us taking the property. Of course, we have to demolish it and prep it for something else potentially. There's money involved in that, and we'd have to apply for a grant for that, so there's a lot of details in the contract that we're trying to work out with that, so.
What if there was an idea to repurpose the buildings on the west side of Bull Rapids?
West side of Bull Rapids. I'm open to that. I'm open to that, definitely. The rectangular structure is, I think the one on that side is probably in the best shape of all of them, if I remember correctly. I think that one, when we looked at them, yeah, that one was,
If we're gonna tear them all down, we would wanna keep that one,
yeah.
but
Well, that's the one I'd be interested in.
The
You'd be
skin
interested
is
as
very
is.
good, yeah.
as is, okay. I think you'd like
I
to have,
read Nunman's shop.
we
So
want one,
I'm
don't we?
very interested in not losing that alley, gaining more space, and I would like to possibly turn it into a youth sports center.
Hey,
Wow,
that's awesome.
We do need to have
details
some
of
fun
that,
around here.
I'd like to know more
Yeah.
details about that.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime, when
A
you're,
youth.
Oh,
yeah.
But at the same time, I wanna make sure that you guys are on, at least know of the interest of
Right.
it, so that doesn't get demolished, and then
Right,
I can't buy the building if there's no chance of me being able to purchase the property.
We
right.
planned on keeping that.
yeah, west side.
not destroying it, but for what?
Which one they're talking
Well, we thought that was the best one to
This
keep,
big one?
all structure.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's more.
At this point, we don't know, I mean, commercial or maybe use it as one of our government buildings or something, we don't know at this point, we just know keeping that building is gonna be good, you know.
You talking about this
Turn the
building right
silo, you
What's
you
that?
mentioned
here? This building or this one?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
Did you
taking,
say
they
you
were
run
taking,
Nunnemans?
they were taking all the
I'm
solid,
renting the Nunman shop. Yeah.
You're renting the Nunneman shop, okay, gotcha.
Ag Plus is gonna take all the silos,
Yeah, the silos are gonna be gone,
The metal ones.
yeah.
metal,
The metal
yeah,
silos,
the metal
yeah.
silos.
so that's on the east side, correct?
That's this one and this one.
Oh,
Yep.
This
okay,
one.
yeah.
These three?
It was just a
Are
building.
there three of them?
When they tear them down and haul
He's looking at
Someone wants
pictures here of
Try
it,
to
that's
sell.
why.
them. These are concrete, right?
Yeah,
If they do
concrete
it,
ones
$5
are-
million, right?
down. These
If they don't sell them, they'll tear them down, yeah.
So there's
Destroy 'em.
just those two will be taken down?
If it costs some money, then
The
unless you
office.
guys are forcing them to take them down.
The
Office,
office.
so
They're probably
we'll
forcing
get
us
office
to take
too,
them down. I tried to keep one.
I've heard that's in pretty bad
They
shape.
They don't want
I
any
think
no
renovations can happen
compete.
to that. I have
Yeah,
no
they want them
understanding.
down. That's part of the negotiation they're working on.
But
But
it's
you-
given to us.
Did you
yeah,
want one of
hey,
those
Yeah,
buildings or
right.
something?
If we're,
We were
Maybe
gonna just use
demo
one to
anyway,
put,
if it needs
just to
demo,
store
we
stuff
can do
in
that,
for
or
salt,
renovate.
the salt bins, but,
either way.
so that our stuff was inside, but
Yeah.
it's not like we have to keep anything. It's
I
not
don't
like
know,
that.
they're getting rid of
Say
the
again?
scale. Be all this right here.
Right.
Somebody else is taking it down.
No.
Scales,
That's
the
the
dryer,
contract,
and
Yeah,
Two metal
just
bins they
this
wanna
and
sell.
this.
Yeah, okay, they don't know.
the, and, yeah, the scale goes
Where's he,
somewhere else.
where is this gentleman located?
Maples.
I think right here, where Nunnemans is,
Yes,
yeah, we're,
that's it?
yeah, yeah, so,
We do need some recreation around here.
yeah,
Well, I know the school has all kinds of overflow where everybody's competing for gym space.
Mhm.
I've been with all 5 of my kids, 3 of them play travel sports, and no, it wouldn't be a brand new one like up in Chicago where they spend $500,000 with fold up basketball hoops and everything else, but it would give, obviously it'd have to be cleaned up and insulated. But there's plenty of space in there that if you have some creative coaches, like I have been, you can get a lot done
Yeah.
in a space like that.
Yeah, they're 60 by 100 feet,
That one's not.
and one of them's 80 feet, 60 by 80.
I think that one might be 60 by 80.
Okay.
That one's almost square. The one across the street, the one that has a basketball hoop in it, is the longest one.
I think that's a great idea,
It is.
so. I'd be happy to keep in communication with you about that, you know, see what materializes with that,
Yes, please.
so. Absolutely. Fantastic,
Yeah, that silo's gone, you could do something.
yep, silo's going,
Well, if that round silo wouldn't go, and you guys would wanna keep that as one piece of property.
Mhm.
That could be if you can get it by Allen County, just because you know Allen County. You wanna make something unique? Turn that into City Hall.
yeah, yeah, oh, City Hall, yeah, that'd be kinda neat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Build multi-story inside, put windows wherever you want in those things.
An Oval Office.
There you go.
They're
Yeah.
insulated though, right?
That's a circle.
Yeah,
It's a
circle office.
It's a step down from oval.
It might be a little bit out of round, you don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, there's a lot of concrete under those silos too, so, you know. I'm sure they would just get rid of the skin and leave the concrete, that's probably what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for us.
Yeah, it's for us to deal with. But there's a lot of possibilities out there, but yeah, I definitely think
Are
that's,
there any other thoughts that you guys have had about repurposing the land
my
on
basic,
the east side?
my basic thought is on between Center Street and Bull Rapids is dividing it down the middle approximately. Center Street side more residential, the Bull Rapids side commercial, you know, so.
If we get the grant to tear it down, we gotta leave it 5 years in a green space
Yeah.
before we can do any development, so.
When you say green space, I mean, you don't
Grass,
Grass.
Yeah.
have to, so you have to plant grass in there?
supposedly.
It'd be like,
If they get, yeah, a certain type of grant, right?
yeah.
But if
so-
he were to, purchase that building, he didn't, we don't,
Not that.
No, that's only if we tear the stuff down,
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so. A lot of possibilities, has to be a long-term planning, idea for it, so.
That'd be 5 years after you would do it, which no one here might yet even be up here
right.
still.
Right.
This is gonna be a multi-term, multiple people on the board type of, thing that has to be saw through. So all these guys can say, yeah, this is what we think of it, and then in 3 years, this whole thing could change, that everyone could be voted out, and then you have a whole new crew up here, and they go, no, we wanna do this with it, we wanna keep it for the city, so.
Hopefully Skylar, you're here then.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Skylar, you're moving over a chair every time.
That's right.
Sorry, look at the bottom of the form you just signed.
If you don't totally understand what we're talking about, so Ag Plus reached out to me a year ago and said that they're going to be leaving Woodburn, and they offered to turn the property over to us. But there's a lot of things we would have to do in order to develop it. There's cost in demoing it and having it tested for chemicals and everything else, so that's what we're looking at right now.
Well, then it's taking the damn thing down,
Say again?
taking the big thing down.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one loud day.
Yeah, sure is. And I don't know if we'd have to deal with the railroad when we do that or not. I mean, there might be some regulations where the railroad would have to be there. Well, I don't know. So
But one silo sits on their property, I think.
say again.
I mean, one silo sits on their property.
Sits in the railroads?
So it's their easement right away.
That spur is owned by the Ag Plus, isn't
On the
it?
west side?
Yeah, on the west side.
Oh, right there.
On the
Really?
west side, yeah.
Because it sits way back up by the tracks. I'm sure it's into there.
Very interesting.
Well, that's the demolition contractor supposed to do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you. I hadn't seen too much of you since you used to coach JJ in soccer.
It's,
Yeah.
well, kids are all out of school,
I
so.
know, they grow fast, don't they?
That is an awesome idea though, I mean, it's definitely, outside of
Yeah.
baseball here, that's literally the start and stop of it, I think, of anything around here, anything youth, so.
Yeah, he mentioned it's not gonna be anything like Chicago, but it's going to be something that we don't have, so
Right.
it doesn't matter what it is, either way.
Especially if
it's
you do
gonna
something in
be
the winter time too, get kids, prepped up for, that sort of season or just something, that sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I've coached 17 seasons of soccer, I've coached 10 years of baseball and softball. I mean, the kids wanna play a lot.
Yeah,
I don't agree with parents that have their kids playing sports 13 months out of the year.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
My
Well, they just-
sister's one of them,
Harlan
but the
does,
opportunity to just have the space.
Harlan Soccer just posted, they had another record number of kids that signed up this year again,
Wow,
378 or something
Wow.
like that, it's a lot, maybe 270, it was a lot though.
that's where JJ used to play.
Wow.
So obviously the kids out here, they, this notion of kids nowadays don't wanna do anything besides, be on their phones, but they're obviously are signing up for sports.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Well, it's a good discussion, thank you, appreciate that.
Yep.
All right, so, minutes, last meeting.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor to approve the minutes, raise your right hand. All right, that's 4. Anybody, any nays?
I abstain.
Abstain?
Yeah.
All right. One abstain. And is this the official one that you handed me for signatures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the copy that I had.
Alright, I'll pass this around. This is from the resolution last time, from the last meeting, needs to be signed.
I just have that. Let's pass it on this one.
We'll have to have Dan sign it, cause he was here
Yeah.
at the meeting, so.
That resolution we passed it when that lady Rachel Black came in
Yeah.
about the tax abatement stuff. We passed it, but we didn't sign it. So we
We
just have to
did?
sign it. Nope.
Where's it at?
They're sitting down here.
Oh,
I
okay.
think she was talking, she kinda got into the stuff and then it just
Yeah, kinda got, I have to say that.
she left and
Oh,
moved on from that.
okay.
Unless it did get signed and someone took it. I just have a copy of it, I don't know. Yeah, I think that was 2 meetings ago.
Yeah, I think it's been a while.
I guess the next thing is the allowance docket, as we call it now.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, allowance docket. Payables.
No.
Is that not it?
No, that's payroll. What should say?
Accounts payable
Go back up.
register.
Hey Ryan,
There you
that
go.
was sprayed
Oh,
around
counts
here,
payable.
that,
Yeah.
is your admin,
So that should be the first.
schedules or anything like that?
I don't think so, yeah.
Accounts
I just
payable
wondered,
voucher
yeah.
register summary.
I don't think
I haven't even hardly noticed any at all.
Alright.
Okay. Payable over $500. Chemical services for $4,821.60. City of New Haven for $1,392.45. CNI Fiber for $952. Evapar for $786.02. Force Technology for $1,859.78. Got a lot of payroll stuff on here. National Oil and Gas for $1,112.63. SL Tree and Lawn for $1,100. Tree Line Equipment $723.95. Verizon Wireless for $593.53. Wex Bank for $1,642.47. WM Corp for $4,579.98. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor to approve the payables, raise your hand. All right, any abstain?
If you wanna hang on to that.
Yeah.
Until after Dan signs it.
You have anything else to present, Kevin?
Just about the car show and fall festival stuff. I think last meeting you weren't here, but it was discussed that I think we were confused a little bit. I think you probably have more information than anybody else here.
Yeah.
So, from what we had understood was that it was a car show and then a festival afterwards. And now, that is not the case.
And
Is
what,
that true?
well, we're not calling it a festival, and the reason for that is because a fall festival suggests something a lot larger, like a large fair. And when they presented it to us originally, there just wasn't enough time to plan something that big. So now it's just going to be the car show with a few events in the city after that. Next year, it can be, of course, it might be earlier in the year. Next year, it can be a lot bigger event because there'll be a lot more time to plan. So
Yeah.
in Jose and what's his name? Jose and I'm on video here, so Jose and his partner that are planning it, they came to me and they said it might be better when they put it on the flyers not to say fall festival, just because people might expect so much more, and we really don't have many events. So that's why that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, because I remember Monica had came in and said that Baby Box was gonna sponsor a Woodburn Days or festival. She didn't. I don't think it had a name, but So that's gonna happen next year.
Yeah, originally that was gonna be for this year,
Okay.
but it's,
Oh, okay, so
after
it's
that,
tabled.
we decided it wasn't gonna be that big of an
Okay.
event, so,
Do you
they
know what they're
are
gonna have?
going to sponsor,
Oh,
there's a,
face painting or?
face painting, there's a clown guy. There's a clown guy,
We're gonna have,
He's the clown.
we're gonna have a,
Where my little red nose?
not frisbee, but the
I seen
disc
that.
golf
Disc golf
tournament.
tournament.
golf
They're
out
gonna
there.
have a 5K.
Yeah.
It's gonna be going. We're gonna have food.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, just the flyer's not done yet, as of our last
So
meeting.
what are they gonna call it, just a car show?
the,
You- that
yeah,
day?
the BF Goodrich Woodburn Car Show. And there's a 5K in the morning. 5K in the morning. I expect all of you have signed up for it, right?
We got 10
bet.
people so far.
Last time you said one.
Yeah, it's, there's
It's
been a
gone
few
up.
more.
All right.
We gotta have more than 10.
Oh, you do?
It's a walk too and a run, so if you don't wanna run, walk. Sign up, you're an athlete, go ahead and sign up.
As long as we can't do both.
So the thing that Monica was talking about, that's still in the works just for next year, so you guys have more time to plan it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that'll be next year.
Okay.
So I was contacted by an organization, I'm not gonna say the organization now, cause I'm not sure if it's going to go, but they do kites. They do like a kite show. And they've done it at the previous car shows before, where it provides other entertainment for kids and people that aren't necessarily interested in the cars, but, so she contacted me because she heard about the car show coming here, and hopefully we can get them on the events for the day too, so.
Oh.
Yep.
What about band? No, yeah.
Yes, there's the band that they recommended from the Folkcraft, the owner of the Folkcraft recommended, Richard recommended them, so they're gonna do a little bit of a show there, is what we talked about.
National Guard's gonna be there too.
Yep, National Guard's gonna be there, some neat equipment for people to look at and climb on, kids to climb on, and
So this is gonna start where at? About down by the restaurant and,
registration is going to be coming up Bull Rapids, and registration is right there.
oh, okay.
That's
For the
registration.
car show.
For the car show, yes.
It'll be from the restaurant down to City Hall.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
So the main street will be shut down?
Main Street will be shut down, yeah. So, Main Street will be shut down. So,
Right.
and hopefully it's totally resurfaced by then.
Hopefully.
It's not just patching like
Hopefully
I
not in the
said.
middle of it.
Yeah.
We were promised that.
Yeah, we promised that, so.
They're starting to get signs up on the side street now, I noticed that.
Yeah, they did it the day before Fourth of July, they put those up. Seems like- Yeah, and I have to commend Jose and Jamie,
Jamie, yeah.
who's been planning that, cause they've been really the drivers of this. And,
Right.
I wanna commend them and thank them for, bringing that to Woodburn. It's a good thing, be a good partnership, and, hopefully it lasts for many years.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Main Street group has their 501c3. And so I've talked to them about setting up a separate account for the festival so that we can start looking at sponsors for next year
Okay.
to bring more money in so we can have more events and make it a bigger thing.
Yeah.
So it's,
That's what you guys were talking about before, right?
Mhm.
The stuff with Lisa. Okay, Lisa came in and I showed her some stuff on a website that they could sign up for. A website where people can go donate to, and that they would be able to accept donations through that website, and then they'd have to set that up. And then we could put, we talked about putting it on our website, on their page, where they can go on there and they can have a QR code and the other people can go donate. So,
that's a part of it. The other part is going around to businesses and groups. BF Goodrich isn't gonna wanna run money through their finances for the
Yeah.
car show. That'd just be too difficult, so they're gonna, reach out to tire dealerships and all kinds of other businesses for sponsorships
That's
for the
cool.
car show for this year. But then next year it would be for the car show as well as hopefully a full festival and something bigger.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. We also have, I have a commitment for ice cream. They're gonna park their truck or whatever in front of the credit union. So there's somebody's gonna have ice cream there, and I think there's a coffee truck gonna be there. Didn't you guys mention that?
Yeah.
So yeah, be a good event.
That's good.
Woodburn Police will be there with the bike, right? Pretty awesome, pretty awesome.
It's gonna be a planning meeting this Thursday, 8 o'clock here in the community center. For the Main Street group.
All right, awesome. 8 o'clock Thursday morning.
Anybody that wants to come,
Absolutely.
bring your ideas.
Hopefully we have a flyer done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting down tight. What's it, September, isn't it?
Yeah.
Months,
Yeah.
Only 2
Right,
months.
right. Getting close. So, all right. Don't have anything else?
September 20th, correct?
September 20th, yep. September 20th, so.
That's all I have.
All right. Okay. Nothing new here. Nothing new there? All right.
Nothing new?
Game, sir. Vicky?
I hate to bring this up,
Uh-oh.
but I don't, because while you were gone, I don't know if you've picked up on some of the stuff from the Woodburn, on Facebook.
I don't pay attention to Facebook.
Oh, Families of Woodburn.
Less stress. I don't pay attention to it. Not at all.
Probably a smart idea. Well, anyway, they were bringing up the money issue, which is the township. They've been blaming the city for us taking the money and blah, blah, blah. As it turns out, I'm hearing these stories now and more clear about it myself, that it is township that's has the money behind the water park. And I'm getting a lot of people saying, why are, blaming us? Why aren't you guys doing anything? Why, this and that. That was all over Facebook. And that went on, it kind of got ugly for a few days and then it settled down. But my question is, how do we go about, I would love for something like that to be in our town. Just because we've got all these people moving in and he has children and, it's starting to develop around here. How do we go, can we stir this up? Can we do anything to get this ball rolling again? Or is it just out of the question? The only reason I'm asking, I was over at, help me, little town over here in Ohio,
Antwerp?
Antwerp. They have one over there. It's not very big, but it's cute. It's perfect. We could have it even smaller than that.
They use
originally-
recycled water over there.
Yeah, and that's what you normally do.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm confused when I heard
It's not,
Ryan
it's
say.
not we don't have any ground.
There's two kinds of splash pads, and yeah, Ryan mentioned that
It was gonna cost
where this
you.
one was proposed would have been on township property.
Mhm.
So that's why the township was paying for it. But there's two kinds of splash pads. One that just uses the water utility running
Right.
through it, which would be a lot of water going through it that's being processed, which would be an expense, big expense on the city. And there's the kind that recycle the water too.
Right,
Now those kind are much more expensive to build.
really?
The kind that use the city water utility are cheaper to build, but they cost a lot of water going through the system. So
Yeah,
this explains it doesn't the other. But it's all a matter of you got to figure out how much it's going to cost, and if it would benefit the city enough to be worth the cost, is what
Yeah.
you'd have to talk about. That
I'm
type
just
of
thinking about the
discussion.
little ones, and I get it, especially as hot as it's been this summer
Yeah.
already, and it'd be nice for these kids to have a place to go, but
Yeah.
there's just nothing. Is this a grant, is there grant money that we could even go after or not?
From way back in 2017, I've always been supportive of having a splash pad. I think it would be nice to have, nice amenity.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it's beautiful.
Yep.
It looks nice, the
Yeah.
little park over there is just really, really nice, they have a
Yeah.
memorial over there and then that water park.
Well, I think you guys had a $25,000 or $50,000 grant for it.
we committed $50,000.
I thought it was from our money. It was here. You guys were getting a grant or something.
No,
that
we-
Stellar program.
We committed $50,000 of our money
Yeah, but
to be put towards the township's portion of their copay for the grant. We committed it. Once we found out it really wasn't gonna happen, we
You pulled
decided
out, yeah.
to not,
Mhm.
we never sent them the money,
Right.
obviously, so,
I was just curious,
yeah.
just because, like I said, after reading some of those comments and just being around town, other towns, there's so many cute ones that are just everywhere, and they're not very big. They're not as big as Leo's.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know if that was affordable, but if we are not going to be able to do that,
What's disappointing is that the people trying to raise the money for it, and I commend them for trying to raise money for
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But it leaves a lot of people thinking they're donating for something and then it doesn't happen.
you're right.
And that's happened before in this community, and that frustrates a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
It makes a
Well,
lot
they
of
were
people
mad, and
about
they're
that.
a lot of them are upset, wanting to know where this money went.
Yeah,
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea to have you make a statement and say, 'cause everyone always blames the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might be worth it to say that, it's not our property.
yeah.
We never took in a dollar of any of the money.
Right.
None
City
of
itself.
it is on us, not the money, not the
City
land.
council, city gets blamed for everything.
Yeah, so,
No, the mayor does.
City council too.
so maybe you ought to put something out there and say, we're not affiliated with that, and
Yeah,
that's
if it would
on
help,
the
if it
township.
would help all the people getting
Well,
questions,
there
I
was a
could use
couple
some.
of businesses that stuck up for us.
Yeah.
And said, that's not city, that's township, you need to go talk to them, you know. I don't know if I thought it was very clear, but I don't know if some of the people that were reading that, or if they even read it later.
Well, it's a community association, isn't it?
Mhm.
The thing about Facebook is most people's comments are anecdotal and baseless and, no
Yeah, they can
evidence,
get real mean,
um,
and they put anonymous up, so you don't
Yeah.
have any idea.
Well, you gotta imagine someone who's not involved, they're not baseless, that's what they think, or that's what they hear around town.
Right.
They might
right.
not have the full story, but
Right.
to them, it doesn't matter if they have the full story or not, it's what they feel, so,
Yeah,
and where else are they gonna,
yeah.
voice
They're
their
just-
opinion?
yeah.
You come here, but who wants to stand up in front of 20 people and say something about it? It's a lot
Right.
easier, well, just if you comment something here on this, be easier to have a voice.
Now, if something like that stirs up, I have a question about that too, because I wanted to say something so bad. I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to
That's
stick
why I
up
took
for
myself
us.
out of it, yeah.
Yeah, but we just stay away from that. I could have gone in and said, hey, this is what's going on. It's not the city, it's the township. You need to take it up with them. Or come to our meetings if you're frustrated, because a lot of them were basing frustration on nothing going on in Woodburn, nothing to do for the kids, stuff like that. And I thought, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what you can and can't do on social media.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to get.
Just remember, as a public official, once you comment on a
Mhm.
page, that is public,
Yeah,
and that is,
I know.
so.
I've told a lot of people, if you got something, come down to the meeting.
I agree.
I
And that's
should,
what I was
I
gonna
should.
do.
They never show up.
Yeah.
I'd be telling them, be quiet then.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
That's what I was gonna say, is
Yeah.
just come to our meetings,
They won't.
If you have something, we'd like to hear what you have to say. If you've got
Mhm.
comments or ideas, or we're here to listen.
Right.
But I didn't do it.
They can't get off.
Chickened out.
They can't get off the couch.
No, I
on the phone
know.
and come down here.
No, I know.
That's true. That is
No, it's true,
100%
that's,
true.
Yeah.
they bash the police department once in a while, and I do wanna state stuff, but I know better.
Same way.
I just know
You
something.
can't.
It's not true, so.
Yeah.
It's hard, like I said, there's 20 people here, and one person, we're the city, and there's one person, there's one citizen. That one person comes down here and says something, we're all gonna be looking at them pretty crooked. You have to imagine it from anybody else's point of view who's not involved, they're gonna come down here looking crazy. So,
Or bring a group, bring their neighbors. If they're all mad, they need to come in here and let us know, right? We'd like to hear.
well, I think, with the stuff on YouTube, and I think we talked about making a Facebook and putting it out there so people can at least participate on here, or, post in the meetings, that way people know about it more. People should be more involved.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you're talking about putting, this is for YouTube? for
This is on
these
YouTube right now, yeah, we're live, we're live
meetings?
streaming.
Are the comments open?
They are, no one's commented, it's on here, I'm not sure what the law, I don't think, the law doesn't say anything about reading comments or not, I think it's decided city by city. So, but no one's ever commented on, not even one time.
Okay, so the option is there, the people can
I think we did talk about, there is an option with the system that we have now that we can get like a TV and even have it like out here or, you know, somewhere that people can see, that you'd be able to see it or comment, or one of us would be able to put stuff up. Like if someone had something to present, they could put it up on the TV or we could have the comments on there, something like that.
Okay.
That is possible, something that we can do in the future.
But for the rules
Yeah,
of
to what extent?
of this, it would have to be a live feed coming back, the comments would have to be before the meeting's over? Or can it be?
I don't think the law says anything about reading comments that are made online. The law for the broadcasting, the one that just came into effect on the 1st, the meetings have to be broadcast live and they have to be made available for 90 days after the meeting ended, and then they're free to delete.
Okay, so if someone does put a comment in, somebody will be reading it?
That's for everybody to decide. We just started, I mean, you know, it didn't start that long ago, so I don't know, it's something that we should probably discuss.
Worry about it when you get one?
Yeah.
Cross the bridge when it
And
happens.
we have what, 14 subscribers?
I think there's 17,
No, 17?
yeah.
That's kind of sad. When you think about how many people's in this town, and if they're upset about something, they should be on here watching.
Well, I think we
If
should,
nothing else, watch us.
I think maybe we do a better job of advertising it, maybe.
Yeah, how can we do that?
Is there a
Put
way
it in the
to
bills,
Just put it on that.
put it wherever you can.
have that window on the website, in a certain spot on the website? I know there's a way to do it,
I'm sure there is.
because I have my Facebook page on there too. So.
Yeah, you probably give it Caleb and see.
Back to the splash pad, that's supposed to be over here at the park because that's township property,
Yeah, over there.
by the ball downs.
Yep.
Okay.
Where at, by the water tower?
Actually, by
No.
the
It's right here by the,
swing set.
right by the
Yeah.
basketball court.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
basketball courts are good.
Where the park is at
Okay.
now.
South
Okay.
side of the street. Okay.
Yeah,
On the one in Antwerp that you visited,
Mhm.
is the water always on?
yeah. It looked, well, I don't know, I haven't been there
No, you got a touch
24/7,
button to
but,
make it go on.
That's what I was wondering.
yeah.
They shut themselves off and you gotta
It's gotta
reactivate
go
them,
into-
but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, see, I didn't know
It's not
that.
always running, yeah.
You have to figure that whenever they did the stuff, whenever they have meetings to do that, I'm sure that has to be discussed in there, and that has to be taken into account and say, well, if they're gonna leave it run for this long, this many gallons ago, it's gonna cost you this much. I mean, a company that installs them probably isn't gonna just say, oh yeah, if you run it 24/7, 365, your costs are gonna be $9 billion a year. I'm sure at the meetings, I'm sure they laid it out for them and gave them
Yeah.
different options.
Well, and let's
But-
face it, that wouldn't even, we'd only have this open for what, 4 months? 5 at the most? I
I'm
don't
sure they took that into account. You have to
Yeah.
assume when they met with
Yeah.
them.
I don't know, I'm like Joe though. And I think all of us agree with this. It'd be wonderful if we had something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, after hearing the comments of nothing to do in this town, of course, the fact that you wanna open up that place would be wonderful. But the kids do need something to do, or they're just gonna get in trouble, or be on their phones all the time, you know? So, I don't know. I was just hoping there was some other avenue. And I know that some of the comments, like I said, that were made were about the fact that they wanna know what they're gonna do with that money, you know, what the township's gonna do. Do they have meetings?
I can tell you
I
that
wouldn't tell you the
501c3s
township
are
has.
supposed to have meetings, they are supposed to.
Can I just stop this? We have a comment, guys. We have a comment from former District 4 Councilman Dan Watts on the Facebook. First comment ever. It says comment.
Hey Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi Dan.
And,
The meeting would be very disruptive if it was like that, I would think.
I don't even know if it's
he didn't make a
who
comment.
actually has the money.
I think it's the community foundation's the one that has
I
the
think
money.
they're the ones that have the money. We're saying these guys have it, I don't think they're the ones that have it, community foundation has it.
But isn't that through the township?
They're their own organization.
They're a private 501c3.
Okay, I'm very confused. Why would there be another community?
Cause they were raising the money for the splash pad. They're the ones that were raising the money.
But it's gonna be put on township's property?
That's the agreement they had with,
So shouldn't they be
Nikki, I do
involved
believe.
somehow?
it was the previous
Shouldn't it be a-
administration, so some of the stuff we're saying, we may not be, should be not saying the way we're saying it. So I'm not for sure who has the money.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, I know the city that sells, we do not, we have nothing involved in it,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know we don't, but I mean,
Yeah, but
you
we
know,
keep, yeah, I'm not for sure who actually has it, but
okay.
it is an association who does have a hold of it, so.
Does that answer your question?
I'm clear as mud. No, but that's okay.
I guess my question is we don't have the money and Jeff doesn't have the money. And at what point that businesses and people of the city donated, and at what point who's gonna stick up for the people? Because if everyone just goes, well, we don't have it, so we're not taking responsibility. At what point does someone stand up, or who stands up and says, hey, someone needs to be held liable?
For the money that was
Who's
donated.
gonna do that?
Yeah.
Cause if Jeff's not gonna do it, and the community is just, the association isn't gonna come out and go, yeah, we have the money, we're not doing anything with, or whatever. At what point, who says something about it and sticks up for the people who live here and donated money out of their check?
Where's the money being
Well,
held
we-
at anyway?
Well,
It's
I
in
do
a-
believe
it's
you
in a
guys have asked them to
bank
come to a
account.
meeting and they have not shown up, so,
Ryan, where's the money being held at? Do you have any
I have
idea?
no idea. You've asked them to come to a meeting and they haven't showed up, so,
Yeah, you know that, yeah.
so, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, they came after fireworks, but.
Right.
Yeah,
So has anybody reached out to them? Can the mayor do it? Can you nudge them?
To Jennifer Gunrow, yes, I reached out to her.
Oh, you did? And she wouldn't come, huh?
She wouldn't come, what do you mean? I reached out to her to ask her about how much money she's raised. So,
Is she the community?
she's the person in charge of the community association who's
Okay.
been raising the money, so.
Okay. And did you invite her to a meeting to tell us what's going on or no?
We talked about a lot of things. I didn't invite her to a meeting, but we talked about a lot of things.
Well, that one girl was here. She was told to
She was in
have her.
for Jennifer, and Jennifer was supposed to come to
Yeah,
the next meeting,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, I knew
She didn't
about
show
that, but I didn't know if we had recently, anybody had tried to stir the pot and get her to come. As you can see, I like to stir the pot, don't I?
like I said, people live here and someone's gotta stick up for the people who donated money.
Right,
And if nobody says anything about it, then
yeah,
that's kind of a disservice to the people who did donate.
yeah. So.
is that it, Vicky? I mean, we could do this all night. if you
No.
want, but-
Yeah.
No, I know.
All right.
I'm done.
Thank you. Skylar.
Nothing new but me, I suppose.
All right, well, welcome to the meeting.
Yeah.
Welcome to City Council, and we're glad to have you. So. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, meeting adjourned.